Are you doing everything right but still feel exhausted every day, wondering what you're missing? In the next 15 minutes, you'll discover 7 surprising and often overlooked reasons why seniors feel tired that most doctors never mention, plus the simple fixes that can restore your energy within days. And reason number 2 will shock you, because it's something you think is helping your health, but it's actually stealing your energy and adding years to how old you feel. Beatrice, a 71-year-old from Wisconsin, did everything her doctor recommended for energy. She slept 9 hours, took vitamins, and walked regularly. Yet she remained exhausted until a nutritionist discovered 3 hidden problems nobody had considered, and within 2 weeks of addressing them, Beatrice's energy returned completely. Reason 1: eating too many ultra-processed foods. The hidden inflammation from ultra-processed foods might be the primary reason you wake up tired every single day, and most seniors have no idea this connection even exists. Harvard Medical School research shows that ultra-processed foods containing artificial additives, preservatives, emulsifiers, and inflammatory seed oils trigger chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body, directly causing persistent fatigue, mental fog, joint pain, digestive problems, and accelerated aging at the cellular level. These foods aren't just unhealthy in a vague, general sense. They're actively poisoning your system and stealing your energy with every bite you take. The inflammation they create forces your immune system into constant overdrive, diverting energy away from normal daily functioning and leaving you exhausted. Ultra-processed foods are designed in laboratories to be addictive, convenient, and profitable, not to nourish your body. They contain ingredients your body doesn't recognize as real food, triggering inflammatory immune responses as your system tries to process and eliminate these foreign substances. Your liver works overtime trying to detoxify artificial chemicals. Your gut bacteria die off or become imbalanced, disrupting digestion and nutrient absorption. Your blood sugar spikes and crashes repeatedly, creating energy roller coasters throughout the day. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that seniors who consume high amounts of ultra-processed foods have significantly elevated inflammatory markers in their bloodstream, including C-reactive protein and interleukin-6, which directly correlate with fatigue, cognitive decline, and accelerated disease development across every major health category. Marvin, a 68-year-old from Ohio, ate packaged meals and snacks he thought were convenient and harmless. After switching to whole foods for just 3 weeks, his afternoon exhaustion vanished completely and his mental clarity improved so dramatically his family commented on the change. Every ultra-processed meal you eat triggers an inflammatory response that drains your energy, damages your cells at the DNA level, weakens your immune system's ability to fight infections and cancer, and accelerates every chronic disease process in your body. The cumulative effect of this daily assault is profound, progressive fatigue that you've probably accepted as normal aging when it's actually preventable and reversible. Eliminate packaged foods with ingredient lists longer than 5 items, and eat only whole foods you can identify and recognize in their natural state, including fresh vegetables, fruits, eggs, fish, meat, nuts, and seeds. Read every label carefully. If you can't pronounce an ingredient or don't know what it is, don't eat it. Cook simple meals at home using basic ingredients. The processed food you eat today creates the inflammation exhausting you tomorrow. Start eating real food now. Reason 2: sleeping too much. Can you actually sleep too much, and could excessive sleep be making you more tired instead of more rested? The answer is yes, and this surprises almost everyone who hears it. Johns Hopkins sleep research reveals that seniors who sleep more than 9 hours nightly experience increased daytime fatigue, accelerated cognitive decline, higher inflammatory markers throughout their bodies, greater risk of depression and mood disorders, and even increased mortality risk compared to those sleeping the optimal 7 to 8 hours. Your body has specific sleep needs, and exceeding them disrupts your natural rhythms just as much as getting too little sleep does. Oversleeping throws off your circadian rhythm, the master biological clock that regulates sleep, wake cycles, hormone production, body temperature, metabolism, and countless other critical functions. When you sleep excessively, your body stays in a low-energy state longer than necessary, and transitioning back to full wakefulness becomes increasingly difficult. Your metabolism slows dramatically during extended sleep periods, and remaining in this slowed state for too many hours trains your body to operate at reduced capacity. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that excessive sleep is associated with increased inflammation, disrupted glucose metabolism, reduced physical activity levels, and cognitive impairment that worsens progressively over time. Long sleep duration is also correlated with underlying health problems, including depression, undiagnosed sleep disorders like sleep apnea, and chronic pain conditions. Shirley, a 73-year-old from Arizona, slept 10 hours nightly, thinking more sleep meant better health and recovery. Her doctor suggested reducing to 7.5 hours with consistent wake times, and within 1 week, her energy and mental sharpness improved so remarkably she couldn't believe the difference. Oversleeping disrupts your circadian rhythm, making you feel groggy and disoriented throughout the day. It increases inflammation systemically, accelerating disease processes and aging. It slows your metabolism, promoting weight gain and metabolic dysfunction. It impairs cognitive function, affecting memory, processing speed, and decision-making ability. It ironically makes you feel more exhausted throughout the day, despite spending more time in bed. Aim for exactly 7 to 8 hours of sleep nightly by setting consistent bedtime and wake-up times, even on weekends, with no variation of more than 30 minutes. Use an alarm to wake up at the same time every morning, regardless of when you fell asleep. Avoid napping during the day, as it interferes with nighttime sleep quality and duration. If you're sleeping more than 8.5 hours regularly, start reducing it this week. Your energy depends on optimal sleep duration, not maximum sleep duration. Reason 3. Not moving within 30 minutes after meals. What you do in the 30 minutes immediately following your meals determines your energy levels for the next 4 hours, yet most seniors do exactly the wrong thing. Mayo Clinic studies show that seniors who remain sedentary after eating experience dangerous blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes that cause profound fatigue, afternoon sleepiness, brain fog, and increased risk of type 2 diabetes, while those who engage in light walking for just 10 to 15 minutes after meals maintain stable blood sugar and consistent energy levels throughout the entire day. This single habit change can transform your daily energy experience more dramatically than almost any other intervention. When you eat a meal, your blood sugar rises as your digestive system breaks down carbohydrates and releases glucose into your bloodstream. If you sit or lie down immediately after eating, that glucose accumulates in your blood to higher levels before your insulin can move it into cells. This spike triggers a compensatory insulin surge, which then drives blood sugar down too rapidly, causing the crash that leaves you exhausted, craving sugar, and unable to focus. This pattern, repeated 3 times daily, creates insulin resistance over time, where your cells become less responsive to insulin signals, requiring higher and higher insulin levels to achieve the same effect. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that post-meal movement activates muscles to absorb glucose directly from the bloodstream without requiring as much insulin, preventing both the spike and the subsequent crash, while improving insulin sensitivity dramatically. Wesley, a 69-year-old from Pennsylvania, always sat in his recliner and napped after lunch, then felt exhausted all afternoon. When he started taking 15-minute walks after every meal instead, his afternoon energy transformed completely within just 3 days. Sitting after meals causes blood sugar to spike dangerously high, then crash precipitously low, triggering profound energy crashes. It accelerates insulin resistance, the precursor to type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. It promotes fat storage, particularly dangerous visceral fat around your organs. It disrupts your natural energy patterns, creating fatigue when you should feel alert and active. It trains your metabolism to function poorly, creating a vicious cycle of worsening blood sugar control. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes within 30 minutes of finishing every meal, whether breakfast, lunch or dinner, at a comfortable, easy pace around your house, yard or neighborhood. This doesn't need to be intense exercise, just gentle movement that activates your muscles. Make this as automatic as brushing your teeth after meals. After your next meal, stand up and walk. This simple habit stops energy crashes immediately and permanently. Reason 4. Hidden anemia, from iron or B12 deficiency. A hidden deficiency in your blood could be the single reason you felt exhausted for months or even years, yet your doctor may have never tested for it. Harvard Medical School research indicates that up to 20% of seniors have undiagnosed anemia from iron deficiency, B12 deficiency, or both, causing profound fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath, even with minimal exertion. Cognitive impairment, including memory problems and confusion, pale skin, cold hands and feet, dizziness, and significantly increased fall risk that doctors often attribute to normal aging rather than investigating the underlying cause. Anemia means your blood cannot carry adequate oxygen to your tissues, and without sufficient oxygen, every cell in your body struggles to produce energy. Iron is essential for producing hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen from your lungs to every tissue in your body. B12 is critical for red blood cell formation and neurological function. As you age, your ability to absorb both nutrients decreases significantly. Your stomach produces less acid, which is necessary for iron and B12 absorption. Many seniors eat less red meat, the richest source of both nutrients. Certain common health conditions like gastritis or previous stomach surgery impair absorption. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that even mild anemia significantly impacts quality of life, causing fatigue that people often dismiss as inevitable aging when it's actually completely treatable through dietary changes or appropriate supplementation under medical guidance. Gladys, a 75-year-old from Michigan, felt utterly exhausted for 2 years before a thorough doctor tested her B12 levels and found severe deficiency. Addressing it through dietary changes, including more meat and eggs, restored her energy within 3 weeks. Anemia means your blood cannot transport adequate oxygen to your cells, leaving you perpetually exhausted no matter how much you rest. It causes weakness that makes normal activities feel impossibly difficult. It impairs mental function, causing memory problems, confusion, and difficulty concentrating. It increases your risk of dangerous falls due to dizziness and weakness. It allows easily treatable deficiencies to progress into serious, potentially irreversible health problems. Ask your doctor to test your complete blood count, serum iron, ferritin, and B12 levels at your next appointment. Being specific about requesting these tests. Eat iron-rich foods including red meat, liver, spinach, and legumes several times weekly. Include B12-rich foods like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy products daily. This simple blood test could explain years of unexplained fatigue. Request it at your next appointment without delay. Reason 5. Poor indoor air quality and lack of ventilation. Could the air inside your home be slowly draining your energy every single day without you realizing it? Research from Johns Hopkins. Environmental health sciences shows that poor indoor air quality from inadequate ventilation, accumulated dust and allergens, mold spores, chemical off-gassing from furniture and cleaning products, and simply stale, oxygen-depleted air causes fatigue, persistent headaches, cognitive impairment, respiratory, irritation, and general malaise, particularly in seniors who spend most of their time indoors, breathing the same recycled air continuously. Modern homes are built to be extremely airtight for energy efficiency, which unfortunately means they trap pollutants, allergens, and carbon dioxide inside, while preventing fresh oxygen from entering. Your brain requires approximately 20% of your body's oxygen supply, despite being only 2% of your body weight. When you breathe stale indoor air with reduced oxygen content and elevated carbon dioxide levels, your brain receives insufficient oxygen, causing fatigue, difficulty concentrating, slower thinking, and general mental fog. Indoor air often contains volatile organic compounds from furniture, carpets, paint, and cleaning products that trigger inflammatory responses and fatigue. Dust mites, mold spores, and pet dander accumulate in enclosed spaces, causing chronic low-grade allergic responses that drain energy. Studies from the Environmental Protection Agency show that indoor air is often 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and in some cases up to 100 times more polluted, contributing significantly to health problems, including fatigue. Mitchell, a 70-year-old from Oregon, felt constantly tired and foggy at home, but noticed he felt energetic outdoors. Opening windows daily for fresh air circulation and adding several indoor plants to naturally purify air improved his home energy levels noticeably within 1 week. Breathing stale, contaminated indoor air deprives your brain and body of adequate oxygen, causing persistent mental fog and physical fatigue. It triggers inflammatory and allergic responses that drain energy fighting off irritants and pollutants. It allows toxic volatile compounds to accumulate to levels that impair cellular function throughout your body. It creates an unhealthy environment that makes you feel progressively worse the more time you spend at home. Open windows for at least 30 minutes daily, regardless of weather conditions, to allow complete air exchange, using multiple windows to create cross-ventilation. Use exhaust fans in bathrooms and kitchens regularly to remove moisture and pollutants. Add live indoor plants like spider plants, pothos, or snake plants that naturally filter air. Change HVAC filters monthly. The air you're breathing right now matters more than you realize. Open a window and let fresh air in today. Reason 6. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol levels. Unmanaged daily stress is literally exhausting your body at the hormone level, creating fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix. Mayo Clinic research confirms that chronic stress keeps cortisol levels pathologically elevated throughout the day and night, which directly causes persistent fatigue and exhaustion, disrupts sleep quality, preventing restorative deep sleep, suppresses immune function, making you vulnerable to illness, raises blood sugar and promotes insulin resistance, increases inflammation throughout every tissue in your body, and accelerates aging of every organ system, including your brain. Cortisol is meant to spike briefly during acute stress, then return to baseline. But chronic worry, anxiety, and stress keep it elevated continuously, exhausting your adrenal glands and disrupting every bodily function. When cortisol remains elevated chronically, your body stays in constant fight or flight mode, diverting energy and resources away from rest, repair, digestion, and immune function toward dealing with perceived threats. Your sleep quality suffers because cortisol should drop at night to allow deep sleep, but chronic stress keeps it elevated. Your blood sugar stays higher than normal, promoting insulin resistance and weight gain. Your immune system becomes suppressed, increasing infection risk. Your brain function deteriorates, affecting memory and decision-making. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that seniors with chronic stress and elevated cortisol have significantly shorter telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that determine cellular aging, meaning they're literally aging faster at the DNA level. Lucille, a 72-year-old from Florida, worried constantly about family issues and health concerns and felt exhausted despite adequate sleep. Learning simple stress management techniques, including daily breathing exercises and limiting news exposure, reduced her fatigue dramatically within 2 weeks. Elevated cortisol from chronic stress exhausts your adrenal glands, creating a state of persistent fatigue that worsens progressively. It disrupts every bodily system simultaneously, impairing sleep, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. It damages memory formation and cognitive function, accelerating mental decline. It shortens your lifespan significantly by accelerating aging at the cellular and genetic level. Practice 10 minutes of deep breathing daily, inhaling slowly for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and exhaling for 6 counts. Spend time in nature regularly, which naturally reduces cortisol. Limit news and social media consumption to specific brief periods rather than constant exposure. Address persistent worries through journaling or conversations with trusted friends or counselors. Your stress is aging you faster than anything else. Start managing it today with simple breathing exercises. Reason 7. Not eating enough. Throughout the day, many seniors unknowingly undereat, consuming insufficient calories and protein, and chronic inadequate food intake is destroying their energy, muscle mass, and overall health. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that many seniors consume far fewer calories and protein than their bodies need, causing progressive muscle loss, metabolic slowdown, persistent fatigue, weakened immunity, impaired wound healing, increased fall risk, and accelerated frailty that mimics serious disease when it's actually caused by simple malnutrition. As you age, your appetite often decreases due to changes in taste and smell, reduced stomach capacity, medications affecting appetite, social isolation making meals less enjoyable, and difficulty shopping or cooking leading to unintentional severe calorie restriction. Your body requires adequate fuel to produce energy, maintain muscle tissue, support immune function, and perform countless daily functions. When you consistently consume insufficient calories, your metabolism slows dramatically to conserve energy, making you feel even more tired and lethargic. Your body begins breaking down muscle tissue for fuel, accelerating frailty and weakness. Your immune system becomes compromised, unable to fight infections effectively. Your healing slows, making recovery from illness or injury prolonged and difficult. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that unintentional weight loss and inadequate calorie intake are major risk factors for hospitalization, disability, and mortality in seniors, yet these issues often go unrecognized and unaddressed. Clifford, a 74-year-old from Texas, lost his appetite after his wife passed away and ate only 1 small meal daily, thinking less food was healthier. Increasing to 3 balanced meals daily restored his strength and energy within 1 month. Chronic undereating slows your metabolism drastically, making you feel cold and exhausted constantly. It causes rapid muscle loss, leading directly to frailty, falls, and disability. It weakens your immune system severely, making you vulnerable to infections and slow to heal. It impairs wound healing and recovery from illness. It creates a downward spiral where weakness leads to less activity, which leads to more weakness and faster decline. Eat 3 balanced meals daily, including adequate protein, even when you don't feel hungry, tracking your intake to ensure you're consuming at least 500 to 800 calories, depending on your size and activity level. Include protein at every meal, aiming for 25 to 30 grams per meal. Keep easy, nutritious foods readily available. Consider setting meal alarms as reminders. If you're eating less than 3 meals daily or regularly skipping meals, start eating adequately today. Your body is starving and cannot function properly without sufficient fuel. You now know the 7 surprising reasons for senior fatigue that doctors often overlook. Ultra-processed foods causing inflammation, sleeping too much, not moving after meals, hidden anemia, poor indoor air quality, chronic stress, and not eating enough. Most of these causes are completely fixable starting today with simple, immediate changes. You don't have to accept exhaustion as normal aging. Address even 2 or 3 of these issues, and you'll likely see dramatic energy improvements within days. Which of these 7 surprising reasons describes your situation best? Comment with the number and tell me which one you're going to fix first, because I genuinely want to hear which resonates most with you and your experience. If this video revealed something you didn't know about senior fatigue, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more health information that actually makes a real difference in your daily life. Share this with other seniors struggling with tiredness, because you might identify the exact problem they've been missing for years, and that could completely transform their quality of life.